Welcome to Watermelon. From an ice dancer exposing her chest at the Olympics to a blown-out sneaker that nearly cost Nike a fortune, these are the funniest and most embarrassing wardrobe fails in sports. For obvious reasons, some moments are censored to a certain extent, but you can find them yourself and just see how inappropriate they really were. Envy is the sincerest form of flattery, and I have to admit, I envy Ekaterina Rublova's composure. The Russian ice dancer had her strap snap mid-performance, leaving her right breast uncovered for almost a minute.
Но когда Борис Рублев увидел этого тогда еще совсем юного паренька, решил, что...
With a smile on her face, she handled the situation gracefully, finishing her routine without interruption. Every athlete has a game they'll never forget, and for Adam Lane Jr., that was the match against East Carolina University. The Florida running back scored the first touchdown of his career and was named the game's MVP. However, a brown stain, clearly visible on his white pants, took away from the triumph.
And that really cleared things out for young Adam Lane, the redshirt freshman.
He's keeping that football. You're not going to get
the first one, no doubt about it.
You are not going to rip that.
He left the field covering it with a towel and returned in fresh pants, leaving little doubt about the nature of that embarrassing mark. In 2014, Russia hosted the Olympic Games for the first time in its modern history. The honor of winning the country's first medal at the Sochi Olympics went to Russian speed skater Olga Graf. The athlete took a surprising bronze in the women's 3,000 meters. However, that's not what made her famous worldwide. Celebrating her triumph, she forgot that she had nothing under her racing suit and zipped it down to her belly button. For most basketball players, making a free throw isn't a tough task, but it does require focus. To make them miss, opposing fans resort to some of the most unexpected shenanigans. For example, to distract Tony Parker, New Orleans Hornets fans brought out a life-size cardboard cutout of Eva Longoria, who was his wife at the time. But the most effective method was shown by the Taiwanese cheerleaders known as the Luxy Girls. And Brazilian center Lucas Nogueira found no better way than to pull down his shorts.
Throw line. Favors.
The tactic worked and went unpunished, so I guess the end justifies the means. With the first notes of Ed Sheeran's Shape of You, Gabriela Papadakis realized people were about to see a whole lot more of her shape than she had planned.
We were on the ice, and then we started our choreography, and then my top opened.
The French ice dancer's costume had come unhooked at the neckline, and later in her Olympic routine, her left breast was exposed live on national television. Thankfully, there's a happy ending to the story. The pair returned to the ice for the free program, scored a record-breaking high score for that portion of the competition, and took home a silver medal in ice dancing.
205.28 points. They held the record coming into this competition.
The winner surpassed it. Second place, silver medal, France.
They say a bad workman always blames his tools, but in Albert Nannino's case, he had every reason to blame his. The Italian got up to a strong start in the 400-meter race, staying among the leading four. However, on the final stretch, he drastically slowed down and finished last. The thing is, he was too busy adjusting his shorts, trying to keep his manhood from slipping out. Though, to be fair, it was a bit pointless. By that moment, he'd already flashed his junk on camera, and things couldn't really get any worse. I guess Joseph Urban was thinking the same way during a 26-mile marathon in Slovakia. Or maybe he just wasn't aware of the problem. Either way, the athlete didn't bother as his genitals broke free of his shorts, and calmly finished the race without attempting to fix the issue. Moreover, he improved his previous record by 27 seconds. A Czech athlete decided to change her underwear with a cameraman wandering nearby. Fortunately, she thought to cover herself with a towel just in time. Serbian tennis player Jelena Jankovic also prefers to do it right on the court.
Onako kako zna I neće biti nikakvih problema. Očito je Jelena očekivala da će biti mnogo hladnije I ima problema sa...
In the third round of the 2014 League Cup, Tottenham crushed Aston Villa 4-0. However, things could have gone very differently if not for a terrible refereeing mistake. When Villa was only 1 goal behind, Hellenius had a great chance to equalize. A Tottenham defender tried to tackle him but tripped and pulled his shorts down.
Hellenius trying to run in behind Vertonghen and Vertonghen
slips and Hellenius!
The evidence for a penalty was right there, but for the referee, it wasn't enough.
It's down. That is extraordinary.
After completing her dive from a height of 3 meters, Jennifer Benitez adjusted her swimsuit to make sure everything was where it needed to be. Ironically, it was in doing so that she revealed just a little too much. Allen Iverson was the first NBA player to wear an arm sleeve. He began wearing it in 2001 to help with bursitis in his right elbow and dropped 51 points in his first game after the injury. It soon became a signature part of his look and a trend among other players. Jordan Poole thought it made him look cool as well, but he ended up embarrassed by his own sleeve.
26 seconds to go. Oh, Poole. Oh, he lost.
An arm sleeve is meant to prevent injuries, but ironically for Poole, his almost caused one.
They're going to take a look at this. I've never seen that either.
My word, well we just...
Bobsleigh isn't exactly a sport that gets a lot of attention. Most people only hear about it during the Winter Olympics, and even then it rarely makes headlines. But in 2010, British bobsledder Gillian Cook gave the sport one of its most viral moments, though not for the reason she'd hope. At the World Championships in Switzerland, as she crouched to enter her sled, disaster struck. Her skin-tight suit split wide open in the most unfortunate place, right in front of the cameras.
Het is gebeurd, zou Erik van Looy zeggen. Bobsleigh met de billen bloot.
In 2018, Russian figure skater Alina Zagitova won over gamers' hearts by performing on the ice as Lara Croft. The outfit features a bold leather jacket and tight leather pants. About a minute into her performance, she usually takes off the jacket, but at one show, things didn't quite go as planned.
Cidadão, olha o que aconteceu! Que é isso?
Another ice dancer who suffered a wardrobe malfunction at the 2018 Olympics was Yura Min. The South Korean had just started her routine when she noticed the button on the back of her top had come undone. After that, only a single strap across her back was holding her top in place. And while Yura Min managed to avoid exposing any intimate parts, her movements were severely limited. She couldn't bring her arms fully together, as doing so might have caused her entire top to fall down.
스프레드 이글 자세로 컵 리프트.
이렇게 쓰지 못하는 모습이었거든요.
그래도
정말 안타까운데요.
That definitely affected her performance, and the pair finished in 9th place. Tennis players use exhibition matches to entertain fans and try out new techniques in a relaxed, non-competitive setting. But for Venus Williams, at one point, the match against Flavia Pennetta became quite tense. The left strap on her self-designed dress snapped, forcing her to cover her breast and leave the court to change her outfit. They say to gain something, you have to lose something. While trying to grab a rebound, forward Deshaun Pierre learned just how true that is. He secured possession, but lost his shorts in the process. The 2023 NBA Draft introduced perhaps the most promising rookie in basketball history. Standing at 7 foot 4 inches, Victor Wembanyama can do it all on the court and played at a top 3 defender level in his very first year. However, the most memorable moment of the year came from the rookies picked 6th and 13th. After a game, Grady Dick and Anthony Black pulled off the greatest jersey swap ever.
Jerseys.
The only way it could have been better is if Kevin Love and Rudy Gay joined in. It's hard to imagine, but the next wardrobe fail on our list cost Nike around $1.1 billion. That's how much the company's stock dropped in just one day in 2019. On February 20th, Duke faced North Carolina in one of college basketball's biggest rivalries. The presence of Zion Williamson, the most hyped prospect since LeBron James, made it feel like an NBA Finals level event. However, the excitement was crushed just 33 seconds in the game after Zion Williamson was forced out of the game with a knee injury after his sneaker blew out, causing him to fall.
In the Syracuse game, and his leg went out from underneath him, and he just grabbed the back of his leg. He's walking off under his own.
With the game broadcasted on national TV, Nike didn't exactly get the best publicity. Pal Maru proved that a jersey is not just a piece of clothing, but can also serve as a great means of transportation. Swedish freestyle skier Henrik Harlaut had always preferred ultra-loose clothing, which stood out even in a sport known for its casual aesthetic. However, at the Olympics 2014, his love for oversized clothing backfired. As he was competing in the ski slopestyle event, his extremely baggy pants slipped down mid-run. At one point, it looked like they might even fall off completely, but Harlaut managed to finish his run without losing them entirely. In a sport where you spend half the time getting tackled, wardrobe malfunctions are inevitable. That's why in rugby and American football, it's not uncommon to see players end up on the ground with their pants down.
Oh, like she's chasing a little bit of cheese and she's got her hands on it again now.
Off to Kano. Now here is Reed. Straight at Urbana. Get out of the road, son. And he tackles on.
Ridden down. Tommy Kelly comes back in the game. Oh, whoops.
Henry turns about a 3-yard gain to an 8-yard scamper.
Even see him coming.
And the great clearance.
Right there for Freddie Stewart. Just about saved his mod.
Getting some late pressure, and it got to him. He almost had his pants pulled down by Chauncey Rivers. And
I think Middleham needs to win this one. And she has. So it's now the business.
Angel Reese pulled off one of the most disrespectful block shots in basketball history while wearing only one shoe. After losing her sneaker, the LSU player was about to put it back on but saw an opponent driving down the lane for a layup. With one shoe in hand, she used the other hand to deliver a block that would make any man in the NBA jealous.
There were some words exchanged after this play.
If you think there's something smart about NBA jersey swaps, you are mistaken. In 2021, after a game between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics, two players with the same last name pulled off a 200 IQ exchange. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more content. And see you next time.